Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another podcast. This is the Mark Young Media Podcast. Oh, hello everyone. It's that time of the week again, and we're pushing harder to get a good podcast out this week. I'm going to try and make the podcast more regular. 2021, new year, new ideas, so let's going to try and make this podcast a little better than last year and possibly the year before, or however long I've been trying to do this. Tonight I have a beautiful co-host. Petrina's here beside me.
Hello.
And she's been excited to get this done as well. So tonight we're going to basically we're now officially a biker couple, and tonight we're going to talk about.
Are we?
We are, yeah. Oh. Absolutely. We are officially now a biker couple. So what are we talking about tonight?
We're talking about what we're going to do once lockdown is over.
Yeah, so basically where we're hoping to go on the bikes afterwards, correct?
Yes, indeed.
Brilliant, super. But before we get wrapped into that, just going to have a quick chat about and address the big story this week, and that is the Joe Biden inauguration. Now, I don't like talking politics on this because, to be honest with you, I just think let the politics to the politicians and the people who want to be politicians. But yeah, Joe Biden was finally inaugurated this week, and Donald Trump went out the back door with very, very little audience, to be quite honest. I saw the video.
His tail between his legs, I suppose.
Yeah, slightly, ever so slightly. But so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a clip here of Joe Biden's inauguration speech. I listened to it there today, and there was just a part of it there. Just I thought was a nice part of it, and it also held a bit of a horrible statistic. Really, it was his COVID numbers statistic. So I'm going to play it on there, and it's only a short clip of it there. So we'll just have a quick chat about it after.
This is a great nation. We are good people, and over the centuries, through storm and strife, in peace and in war, we've come so far, but we still have far to go. We'll press forward with speed and urgency, for we have much to do in this winter of peril and significant possibilities. Much to repair, much to restore, much to heal, much to build, and much to gain. Few people in our nation's history have been more challenged or found a time more challenging or difficult than the time we're in now. Once-in-a-century virus that silently stalks the country. It's taken as many lives in 1 year as America lost in all of World War II. Millions of jobs have been lost. Hundreds of thousands of businesses closed. A cry for racial justice, some 400 years in the making, moves us. The dream of justice for all will be deferred no longer. A cry for survival comes from the planet itself, a cry that can't be any more desperate or any more clear. And now, a rise of political extremism, white supremacy, domestic terrorism, that we must confront and we will defeat.
Yeah, I think the statistic that the amount of lives lost to COVID in America in the last year equals that of the
World War II.
The amount of American lives lost in World War II. That's scary.
It's actually hard to try and just wrap your brain around that, isn't it?
Absolutely, completely. But I think it's a lot of it is the fault of that has to land at the shoes of Trump mostly, I'd say, because basically when COVID hit America, like, he really didn't know much about it, did he?
No, he didn't, and I suppose he didn't believe it existed, and then I suppose that instilled in all the Americans as well, which probably wasn't the best idea. I would say just under half the country is so divided that honestly just under half the population, half the voting population, were listening to Trump, thinking it didn't exist. Like, and obviously it does exist, but damn, like, that's a crazy statistic. Like, and I think Trump still has a lot to answer for his the actions that he's
his actions throughout his 4 years.
Completely agree.
Yeah. And in that clip, Joe Biden said that it's not only that, it's climate crisis as well. And one of his first couple of executive actions was rejoining the Paris Climate Accord, and he cancelled Trump's order to withdraw from the World Health Organization. So two positive steps there.
Two very good positive steps in the right direction, I think, anyway.
Yeah, I really hope that, I really think that the world is a safer place after this week. And I assume if there's people listening out there who are Trump supporters, then you're entitled to believe what you want to believe. But honestly, I think the world is definitely a little bit safer, especially with the keys of the nukes are now in the back pocket of someone who seems to be a little bit more stable and down to earth. Now, I don't know Joe Biden's background. I don't know. As with any politician and anyone going into office, there's always going to be people trying to draw up dirt and bring up all sorts of possibly stories about him, just to, I suppose, to to make him look bad.
Yeah, true. I think he's I don't know the answer to this question, but he's some connection to Ireland, if I'm not mistaken.
I saw something about it on Facebook constantly over and over again. Like, I think the part, I don't know what part of Ireland is even. I didn't even research that.
I think Meath is in my head for some reason. I have no idea why.
I can Google it there. I can actually Google it there. But wherever his ancestral home is, they're absolutely going nuts over. Apparently, he's been invited for a pint, which is quite nice. It won't be in the next couple of months, I'll tell you that.
Definitely not.
So we'll see. And they're going crazy. Like, when Barack Obama arrived, obviously to Moneygall, like, they went nuts. Like, the Barack Obama Plaza.
It's a great place, though.
What?
The Barack Obama Plaza. It's a great stop on your way to Dublin.
It is a great stop, but the statue there, I think it's a bronze statue. It's mental. They went absolutely crazy up there, like, and Barack Obama wasn't going around saying as much as Joe Biden is saying that he's Irish. So I think Joe Biden is really, really just looking forward to coming over here for a bit of a holiday, I think.
Not sure how bad, who wouldn't, but unfortunately, hopefully not at the moment. But
I think he saw Barack's reception over here, so he's kind of thinking, I want this, like.
Why wouldn't you though?
I know it was mental. I still try to, where is it? I still can't see I can't even. I'm looking at it here on. I don't know where he's from.
That's fine. Doesn't matter. He's some connection
Mayo.
to here anyway.
Mayo.
I got the M right.
Mayo. He's Joe Biden's ancestral home is, so it's vice president. Okay, this one he's vice president. Joe Biden's Irish family history. The Blewett family of County Mayo. So Mayo, you have a star inside in the White House. So look, that was the little thing I wanted to throw in there at the start of the podcast, but I thought, because I felt it kind of just had to be mentioned, and it's I think just a little bit, if you're worried about nuclear bombs, I think definitely you should be sleeping a little bit better tonight, and
hoping that the COVID situation in America improves.
Well, yes, absolutely. Hoping the COVID situation improves everywhere. Anyway, but look, on to what we are going to be chatting about for the rest of the podcast. So, as I've mentioned, myself and Petrina are officially a
biker couple,
because a couple of months ago, Petrina picked up her second motorbike. We'll talk about her first motorbike.
Please don't.
We're going to talk about your second motorcycle now, and we're going to talk about your first motorcycle afterwards. So, Petrina, you have the stage. You picked up, what bike did you pick up?
It was a Honda Super 4.
Very nice, reliable bike. What do you remember? What year those bikes are? They're 93.
93, I think.
I think it's 93. Yeah, it's been because of COVID and the weather. You really haven't seen it that often, have you?
No,
neither have I.
Unfortunately.
No. You've just taking off the cover, having a look, and I think a lot of bikers are in the same boat. And
I have gone for a good few spins in between lockdowns since I got it, if that makes sense.
Well, yeah, you've gone within the 5k as well, like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the roads around where you keep the bike are just plenty of roads there for just banging out the 5ks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
some nice roads.
Absolutely. And so yeah, we're all excited about heading out and on a trip. So that's all we can. That's when it comes to motorbikes. That's all we're really talking about. Really, during this lockdown, is where we're going to go on the bikes within Ireland, because obviously traveling to other countries is going to be really a big no-no for a long time. I think.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah.
I think it's going to be a big no-no for a long time, because we have to get the situation sorted at home here first.
Yeah, definitely. So I think it'd be safer just to even stay in Ireland for a while ourselves anyway.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely think so as well. So so without further ado, you have a big list.
I do, but I also have something as well.
You're
Sorry,
right.
excuse me.
You hilarious.
That I have decided to do without telling you.
Oh, hang on now. What's this? I never agreed to surprises.
No,
I
so
never
just
agreed to
throwing
surprises.
a little one there, but
Okay.
I've decided that we're going to conquer Ireland. But we're going to do it county by county, starting with your home county.
What do you mean by conquer?
Go to see everywhere that we can in Ireland.
What is it going to be, like a challenge?
Yeah.
Okay.
To see if we can visit every single place in Ireland.
That's 32 counties.
Yeah.
32 counties.
Yeah.
Okay, well, obviously crossing into Northern Ireland, that might be challenging, possibly because of restrictions as well.
We can do it a good bit down the line. Not saying there's a time frame on this.
Of course, like. Yeah, okay.
It's possible.
Right, so look, yeah, cool. So thank you for telling me. So we're going conquering Ireland, yes. So we're starting with
Your home county.
County Cork.
County Cork. Yeah.
So what do you want to do? You have particular places you want to see in each county, or what way do you?
Yes,
thinking?
there is. I suppose I've travelled around Ireland a lot myself, because when we were kids, our family holidays were different places in Ireland. So what I want to do is kind of go to places which I haven't been to before. Like some of the places on this list I have been, because they've just, I suppose they were so nice that I'm dying to go back there again.
Fair, okay.
Other ones I've only heard of or seen pictures of, and I'd like to, I suppose, explore these places. I've only picked a few. I suppose Cork is your home county, so you can throw a few in as well. Like,
well, that's fair. Yeah, well, like there's places in Cork. Like Cork is the biggest county in Ireland.
it's not the best though.
It's the biggest. It's the biggest. Okay. No, I will admit some of the other counties, you don't get the views in County Cork that you get in,
Kerry.
say, the like of Kerry. Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. Before COVID and before lockdowns, like one of my most favourite places that I was visiting was Kerry. It was always down to Kerry, down to County Kerry. What is it? The Garden of Ireland, is that what they call it? The Kingdom, sorry.
Kingdom.
What's the Garden? Wicklow?
I don't know, but Kerry's definitely the kingdom.
Yeah, I definitely think so. I'm sure it's everywhere, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Everywhere you look, Kingdom Coffee, Kingdom Construction,
We're quite proud.
Kingdom Laundromat, Kingdom Burgers. Everything is bloody Kingdom.
Not everything. We're just
So, I
quite
mean,
proud.
Yeah, well, proud. Okay, fair enough. Right. So, one of the first counties you want to conquer is County Cork, down Rebel County. So, what is your plan for Cork?
First one I've written down actually is Gugambara, and apologies if I'm saying these names wrong.
Gugambara, that's correct. Beautiful spot.
I think it means Rock of Barra, if I'm not wrong.
I don't know.
But I've been there before, and I just think it's an absolutely savage place. The views there, and real, the little island with the house in it.
The church, yeah.
The church is it. I just think it looks savage, and I think
It's a very popular place to get married.
no.
It is a popular place to get married.
I thought it was a question. Sorry.
No, it's not. No. That's not what you say when you're off air.
That was funny.
Just for people listening, that's not what she says when she's off there. It's quite the opposite, really. But yeah, Gugambara is very popular. The church on the lake is very popular for weddings. I assume it's quite difficult to get there because it is such, it's almost like fairy tale looking, and and there's a forest further down as well. I can't think of the name of the forest now, but it's the forest is lovely as well. And it's the forest itself is the start of the River Lee.
Was it? I didn't know that.
Comes from that forest, yeah. So so Gugambara is a lovely spot. It's a nice spin up to it as well.
Yeah, it takes about over 2 hours anyway from here.
Depends on how spirited the ride is, depending on how but yeah. But a bike ride isn't, like, yourself, the bike ride is not about getting to the spot. Like, it's about how
you get there.
It's about how many petrol stations you stop and chill out at getting there, like, really.
Definitely.
Yes.
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 That's what I tried to do here. I suppose in the next one, the next stop that I have is like an hour away from Guggenbarra. So see, that's for me. It's kind of like about the drive, not just about the places as well.
Of course, yeah.
And it's a place I've never been to before. I'm going to apologise now in case I say any of these names wrong. So apologies in advance. Barley Cove.
Barley Cove. Yeah, that's correct. That's a proper. You said it properly. Yeah.
It's just I've seen pictures of it, and from what I've read, in a way, it's a secluded beach.
Secluded beach that everybody knows about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From looking at the pictures and researching it, looks like everyone knows about it, but it just looks savage, I suppose. I grew up in Kerry near the beaches, so beaches I'm always going to want to, I suppose, go to beaches, but I suppose we better watch the bikes when we're there.
Fair enough.
And like, don't get stuck.
Yeah. Barley Cove sounds good. I'm not sure if I've been there. Possibly I've been there. I really don't know. I'm really bad with names because I normally get there and I don't really care about the name. I'll just get there, take pictures and enjoy the view and try and have a coffee or something like that. And
you need to remember the names because my idea for getting the map, so then we can mark up on the map all the places that we've been. So, like when I joined the army during recruit training. You're in the army?
Yeah.
Wow.
Did I not tell you?
No, I think you forgot that.
You thought I was just wearing the uniform because you thought it was nice.
Yeah.
Feck. Okay. Yes, I'm actually in the army. Yeah.
Wow.
20 years this year. Yes.
Madness.
But when in my recruit training, like I don't know how many mountains we went up in Ireland, but we went up lots of them, and I don't know what they were called.
Sure, you said that was one day we went for a drive. Like I remember, I could have been up a mountain like this before.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Haven't got a clue. People say to me, "Have I been up the top of Carrantoo Hill?" Like I probably have, but it was so miserable in recruit training. You were just so
didn't care.
You were just so bogged down about getting one foot in front of the other and just trying to forget about the wet clothes and the tiredness.
You just wanted to get up and get off.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
that makes sense. I can understand that.
Yeah.
Well, then I suppose the next part it's another good trip spinning the bike, but it's down to Skibbereen. But in Skibbereen, this is where we're going to stay.
Skib.
Yeah, and we're going to stay in a treehouse.
Oh, glamping.
Yeah, I suppose it would be
tree glamping.
Tree glamping. It's a tree house and it has a hot tub outside it, and
it
looks very fancy. So
that'd be handy. We can wash our bike clothes in it. I hear what you. I know. I see where you're going with this. See, absolutely.
We can sit in the hot tub and watch our bikes, so then nothing will happen to them.
Oh, I can already see the photograph. I can already see the photograph. You look amazing in it.
But I think it would be awesome to stay in a tree house. It's like, who doesn't love tree houses?
Yeah. But it's basically, but it is like it's a proper treehouse. It's not.
Yeah, it's a proper treehouse.
Yeah. Glamping thingy in a tree.
Yeah, but I can't even think of the name. I have it written down there somewhere. I can't find it, but it's Couples Cottages or something. I think if you look it up,
it's actually called. Couples is in it.
I think it is. Hang on.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds because I was just looking at it.
Okay. Now, while you're googling it, I'm going to ask random question on motorbikes. Give you a chance to Google. In your time on the motorbike on the road, what would be one of your pet hates from what other motorists do?
Okay.
What annoys you the most that other motorists do when you're on the motorbike?
I think you just opened a big massive can of worms here.
Okay.
Because I suppose if I suppose no one will really know it, but when I was in college, I was kind of known as the road safety queen.
Really?
Yeah, and
were you a lollipop lady?
No, I was trying to teach students and everyone else about motorcycle safety, motorcycle awareness.
Okay.
And I brought a motion. This is Congress politics, but brought a motion to Congress so that every students' union in Ireland would have to teach motorcycle safety and awareness during their road safety weeks.
Okay.
Because my main pet hate is that most motorists don't look out for motorcyclists. They just don't see us. They look, but they don't give a proper look. Like it's a 3 seconds look. It's 1, 2, 3, but they don't stop. You're supposed to stop, whereas they just give a quick glance, and that's in that split second. They're not going to see the motorcyclist.
Yeah, 100%.
So that's a massive pet hate of mine. Another one would be like kids aren't taught about motorcyclists. They're not taught about bikers, so they're not aware of them. So like if you have kids in the car and you see motorbikes, get them to count how many motorbikes that go past. Get them to see how many motorcyclists are there. So then when they start driving, they're aware that there's going to be more cyclists on the road.
Oh, I get you.
Same applies for cyclists or pedestrians and everything, but I suppose my main one would be motorcyclists, but it just makes them aware
I get you.
there's this other vehicle there that you need to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, I get you. That's pretty cool. Like, you've gone way beyond now.
Yeah, sorry.
You've gone deep there, like, do you know what I mean? You've gone...
I told you opened a can of worms.
Yeah, oh, sorry. Do you know? Fair enough. I've just gone... Yeah, okay, that was deep. Happy with that answer. Yeah.
Good answer, like.
It was very good, yeah. But just, you mentioned there also what people mightn't understand. You said you brought it to Congress.
Oh, yes.
Please explain Congress.
It's impossible to explain Congress, but it's basically like politics for students, and Congress is like the main place we go once a year and we pass all of our mandates and motions so that we can be able to have a structure to work on for the next year.
That was easy.
Yeah, it's basically like a mini doll.
It's like a mini doll, but for colleges.
Yeah.
And it's for students.
Yeah.
There you go. That wasn't hard.
Savage.
That wasn't hard. Well done. Brilliant.
No, motorcycle safety is kind of like
your thing.
Yeah.
It's your
Especially
baby.
because the RSA don't do a lot on it at all.
Okay.
You have the likes of Shed for Bikers. Oh, there's another one. Oh, I can't think of it off the top of my head. They came down, they helped us with our road safety week. The guy in charge of it, Dave, I think his name, he's a massive advocate for trying to teach people motorcycle safety, because we feel the RSA don't do enough for it, but that's just our opinion.
Fair. Good plug.
Sorry.
No, happy with that. Good plug. Brilliant. By the way, if anyone can hear snoring in the background, that's actually a 15-year-old Staffordshire Bull Terrier. He's over in the corner here. We just didn't want to kick him out because we have the fire going here in the sitting room, and it'd be cruel just to put him out in the cold corridor. So that's Jake, and he's in the corner and he's snoring his head off. Yeah,
when I've been in calls with my friends before, they never believe me that it's the dog, but it genuinely is the dog in the corner snoring.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's nice to keep him inside nice and warm. So he's not doing what he usually does, which is going back and forth to the door 100 times in the night. But anyway, getting back to what we were talking about the treehouse.
Yeah, and it is actually cottages for couples that I
Cottages for couples. Mm-hmm. Very good.
That's where I found it.
Really?
Yeah.
So the one, this one here is where?
This is the one that's in, it says it's a treehouse in West Cork, nestled in the branches of spruce pines. You'll find a luxury place to stay. Yeah.
West Cork.
Yep.
West Cork.
They're located in the wood in front of Grove House and constructed from 100% sustainable materials.
Right.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds absolutely super. And there's a jacuzzi.
Yep.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That sounds absolutely awesome. As long as the restrictions kind of disappear. Let's have a look.
Just showing Mark a picture of it here. I don't know.
I'll describe it. Basically, it is it's just lovely. It's all timber. The view is in a forest. It's very Robin Hoody, if I could describe it. And hot tub is on the right. You've got tables and chairs on the left. Nice place for photographs. And that looks cool. It'd actually be nice for a videocaster, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it looks cool, doesn't it?
Absolutely. Nice.
I've been wanting to stay there for ages, so we're definitely going to stay there.
Yes, we are. How expensive is it per week, midweek? It's expensive per week, definitely.
I don't think we'd want to stay there for a week.
Not a hope. Like, you're looking at pricing per week, say May to June, is €995.
As far as I know, you can fit like 6 to 8 people in it, so I think that's why it's so expensive.
What, in the hot tub?
No, in the treehouse itself.
Yeah, that's a bit, toenails.
Optimistic there fitting that many people in the hot tub.
You get standing, I suppose, but it wouldn't be comfortable. Right. Okay, milady, what's the next name on your list?
Now, see, this is where it gets. I've only got like 2 places left, so then after that, it's up to you and where you want to go. And this name, I'm definitely going to make a hames of trying to say it.
Mm-hmm. Be warned.
Yeah. So apologies. Coppinger's Court. It's a fortified 4-story house dating back from 1616.
Where? Is it in Cork?
It is in Cork. It's about 20 minutes away from Skibbereen. Can I think of the name of it? No, absolutely not. But I've looked up pictures of it, and I suppose what I did was I looked at areas around Skibbereen.
Yeah.
And I picked ones that I thought were cool, to be honest with you.
Right.
And
I really don't know I've never heard of it, so I don't know if I could pronounce it right, but
Give me literally.
I'll hold that for you. Thank you.
Seconds.
Pass it over. Where is it? Did you write it down?
There. Yeah, I did write it down.
Okay.
It's in. I can't even say the name of that place.
And I can't read your writing.
I have found it, but I can't say the name of it here. I'll show you. You might be able to pronounce it there.
Coppingers. It literally looks like Coppingers.
Yep.
Show me. Galan. It looks like Galan, County Cork. It looks like Galan, County Cork. Yeah. Okay. And what's that again? It's a fortified house. A fortified house dating back to 1616.
Yeah, look, it looks class. Get some savage photos there.
That looks like a ruin of a castle.
Yeah, I really like castles too. But they've also the views from it too look savage.
Hang on. Do you stay here?
No.
This is I thought it was like a fortified castle house that was redone into a hotel.
This is just a place to go look at.
Oh, this is a place to visit. Mm-hmm. Fair. Yeah. Okay. That ties in with an idea we had last week, was to try and visit as many of the castle ruins in Ireland as possible.
Yeah, it does.
Because for some strange reason, maybe my phone heard me talking about castles. Do you know the way Google can listen?
It does. Google is always listening. And
Alexa was listening. And just doing a tour around Ireland, looking at really cool castle ruins and stuff, you know. So that's on the bike trip bucket list.
And there's
within Ireland.
One place left that I have, and again, I'm not going to be able to pronounce this properly. You'd say I wasn't Irish at all. Like.
Lochine?
Yes.
Yes. I read that. I was actually going to suggest it. While you were talking about Skibbereen, I was going to suggest Lochine. It's gorgeous down there.
It looks absolutely amazing.
It's beautiful down there. It's a freshwater lake, but there is an outlet into the sea. I've kayaked there a few times. There is rapids there. It's tidal. When the tide is going out, you can actually is it going out or coming in? I think it's when the tide. I'm not sure. I think it's when the tide is going out. Correct. When the tide is going out, you can actually kayak in the rapids. Now there's a few rapids there, but it's awesome.
Well, I ain't going near the water anyway, so it's fine.
Well, it's a lake.
Well, I ain't going near the lake either.
Okay, if you can look at it, like.
Yeah, I'll look at it.
But it's really, that's the only rough part of the lake. It's a small lake, but it's stunning. It's absolutely beautiful, like. So I went kayaking down there a few times. There is a hill there as well. I don't know what the name of the hill is. I was there with. I went to the top of it there with my daughter Tori many years ago. It's a handy enough walk up to the top, but the views are lovely. Really nice views.
So that's only really down West Cork, if I'm not mistaken.
That's West Cork.
So then the next part of the trip, I'm going to let you decide. Obviously not right now, but you can come up with ideas for the rest of it.
For the rest of the trip, we'll definitely. Like we said, a bike trip is about what you do in between, and whether you go looking at castles or whether you want to get as many petrol stations in as possible, like
castles over petrol stations.
Well, obviously, but definitely we're conquering Ireland. Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. Maybe I chose the wrong word.
No, that's perfect. We're conquering Ireland. That's good, but there's a lot of research to be done there, which is part of the fun, I suppose.
Yes, it is, and this goes back to then, getting the big massive map and putting it in the back of the door and marking up everywhere we've been in Ireland.
Yeah, that'd want to be a fairly big map, to be quite honest with you. Like,
I've wanted it for years.
Really? Well, that's what Amazon is there for. We'll have to have a look at Amazon after the podcast to get the ball rolling on that. Something to look forward to, I guess.
Obviously, this is all going to be done within COVID restrictions and everything when they're all over. And
of course, I'd
get some form of normality back.
Yeah, I'd still. Until the numbers come way down, I'd still be nervous about. Even if you're allowed to travel inter-county, is that right? Inter-county, is that going in county? I'd still be nervous.
Yeah, it would be too. But I suppose the reason why I picked Cork is because.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm going to move the table here a small bit. If you're hearing some rumbles, that's not thunder.
The reason I picked Cork is because I suppose I've been in Kerry for the whole last year. I think this lockdown. So just dying to get out of Kerry, to be honest with you. Even though I absolutely love Kerry, I'll probably be gone for a day and want to come back. But just nice to go see somewhere else.
Well, Kerry is lovely.
I love Kerry.
Kerry is pretty amazing.
Remember when we went to is it Glentonassic? Remember you?
Glentonassic is a lovely spot.
Yeah, it's fab, isn't it?
That's Glentonassic is. You could say it's basically just outside Tralee. Yeah, it's not far from Tralee. No, it's not. It's quite stunning as well. It looks like a great spot if you're into trail running. I'm into trail running and adventure races. That's coming up in a different podcast, adventure racing, because I'm hoping to get back into my adventure racing, not as much as I used to, but anyway. Getting back to Glentonassig,
Yes.
an absolutely gorgeous spot, beautiful spot, lovely spot, very photogenic, absolutely.
Like lakes and mountains and
Yeah.
the day we went as well, I suppose the weather was actually really nice. We were kind of blessed with it.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. So yeah, that's the plan with the bike trips. Unfortunately, we can't. It'll be a long time, I think, before we can say go to France.
I'd say so.
I would love to go to. I'd love to go to the Alps again.
Yeah, because I remember before the COVID, before COVID, I don't know, world before COVID. Sounds like it was years ago.
It's like saying the word before mobile phones.
Yeah. It's like the world before, when we were speaking before COVID happened, we were planning on going, I think it was to the Alps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I wanted to go back to the Alps.
Yeah. I've never been to the Alps, but I've been to, but you have.
You've never been on you've never been on a bike outside of Ireland, have you?
No, I have not.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
I can imagine.
It's fantastic. It's an experience. I think there's nothing like that feeling of getting on a ferry, and then there's nothing. Okay, you don't have to look outside the window. Okay,
just you're going to have to try and get me on the ferry first.
We get you on the ferry. We get you on the ferry when you see what's on the other side. But there's nothing like that feeling of getting on the ferry and driving up the ramp, getting onto the ferry, watching the ferry door close, the cargo area of the ferry, the door close, and then opening, and it's like a different world. Like, it's cool. Like,
okay, fair.
You have a fear of water. Let's get that out there. You have a fear of water.
Well, it's not. I don't have a fear of water. I have a fear of what's in the water. If that makes sense.
But you won't be in the water.
Yeah, I know, but I'll be on the water, and then if something happened, then I'll be in the water, and I wouldn't.
If something happens, you get in a lifeboat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're not going in winter time.
Yeah, I know, but it's just like I've been on a ferry to France with my parents, like so, and the way over it was fine because it was like glass.
Yeah.
Sailing on the way back. Oh my god! Like,
see, what you do is when the ferry leans to the left, you lean to the right.
This thing was going up and down and left and right and all over the place. I was putting them over the kids to mind them.
You see, you're occupied. You were occupied. But like you're not going to get to France and the Alps on a motorbike without going on a ferry.
I know. I'll get there.
So like there is options there. I'm not sure what the options are getting a ferry to UK now because obviously it's outside the EU.
Oh yeah, that whole thing Brexit.
Yes. But obviously you can still do it like. But what you can do is you can either get your 16, 17 hour sailing across to Normandy, which you're overnight on a ferry and you're sleeping, or you can get a 3 hour sailing from Rosslare to Fishguard. I'm just saying Rosslare to Fishguard because I lived in Rosslare for many years. Rosslare to Fishguard, 3.5 hours, and then drive across England. Now there's plenty of places in England along that way you can stop off and have a look at.
I think I'd prefer that option.
Then you get to Harwich and say Harwich to the Hook of Holland and go that way.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can do that. I'm not sure. I think that's an overnight sailing. Harwich to the Hook of Holland. I think that's overnight.
Just give me some herbal happy pills.
Whether you like it or not, if you want to go to the Alps or go somewhere to France, somewhere nice on the motorbike, you're going on a boat that's going to go on the water. Okay. Don't worry.
I'll work on it.
Don't worry. Look, we'll start small. We'll start with a bath.
I actually really don't like baths either.
And what she means by that is she prefers showers to baths.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
She doesn't mean she doesn't like washing.
I do wash with it. I just don't. Yes, showers.
Oh my God!
Well, they wouldn't. No one would have thought that now if you hadn't said it.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Definitely.
Just don't like going in a bath. I prefer a shower.
That's fair. That is absolutely fair. Right. So, yeah, I definitely want to go back down to the Alps. There's a lot of places I'd like to go. I'd like definitely Austria. I've been to Austria a few times on the bike now. I definitely want to go back there. But I want to go different places as well. I definitely want to go to Prague.
I think it's kind of...
Prague, Czech Republic, Croatia.
It's becoming very apparent from the conversation we're just having tonight that I've been at a lot more places in Ireland and you've been a lot more places outside of Ireland. Because I don't think I've been to France, Spain and Bulgaria.
Yeah, okay.
That's about it.
I've never been to Bulgaria.
And England, obviously, but...
Okay. All right, well, I've been to many, many places in Ireland, but a lot of it was with work,
Fair.
driving for work. So that doesn't really count.
Yeah, and I did my holidays in Ireland for years as a kid, like so.
Yeah, if I don't go across the water, I forget to take holidays.
Well, I don't think having holidays in Ireland was bad. I absolutely loved it. We had a great time.
You know, I just like holiday for me. It has to be. I prefer it was completely different. Going somewhere just completely different. Like I like going somewhere where the road signs are different. I like going places where, you know, the bloody post van looks different, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? I like.
Why did you pick the post
because
van?
it's a common thing you'll see everywhere you go. Is a post van, and I like seeing things that are just. Oh, that's their version of a post van. Oh, that's their version of cornflakes.
What about language? Would you try and learn the language of a place you were going?
Well, obviously, yeah, you could just learn hello and all that, and do you speak English and whatever else, you know. But
So you could say hello.
the fascinating thing you have now on the phone, you can hold your phone up to. There's an app you can hold your phone up to, say a sign, say a French sign, and it translates for you.
But that takes the fun out of learning the language. Like, so you've been to France, have you?
Yeah,
So you can say hi, how are you in French?
Yes, I can.
Go on then.
No.
Why not?
How are you? Bonjour, ça va?
Ça va bien et tout?
Ah, fucking that's it. You know.
I'm currently I studied French in school, but I'm currently learning it again.
I learned like au revoir, bonne chance,
Bonne chance.
goodbye,
Bonsoir. Bonne
goodbye,
nuit.
goodbye, and good luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
À bientôt.
You know, we always say, all right, good luck. It's like, bonne chance, good luck.
Bonne chance.
Yeah.
À bientôt. That's another one.
Is it?
I like that.
Okay.
À bientôt.
Yeah. See, I'd love to learn languages like that, but I find it very hard to retain information like that.
I'll help you.
Yes, that sounds good to me. Sounds very good to me. So basically, yeah, I would love to get the bike back into Europe.
I'd love to get a bike to Europe.
Yeah. Would you bring your own bike with you first time, or would you like to get on the back of my bike as a passenger, pillion?
Gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I suppose since I got my own bike, being in the back of a bike is very boring.
Completely. Yeah, I completely agree.
So boring.
Completely agree.
Because we went for one spin. I went on the back of a bike when I hadn't got my other bike. My other bike was broken down. I had no bike, so I went on the back of your bike. Your bike is savage, by the way.
Thank you. Yes, it is.
It is savage. But I found myself being very bored and trying to keep myself awake. Because,
really? Okay, it might be, that's because you're in Ireland. Maybe that's because.
Fair, yeah.
And honestly,
it was all just motorways that time as well. So.
Like I'll give you a difference, right? If you're driving from, say, Tralee to Galway,
yeah,
or Tralee to Limerick, whatever, you're mainly looking at ditches.
Fair point.
All right, ditches. Fair, yes, tarmac, but ditches. You drive to France and you drive in the countryside. There's, from what I remember, there's feck all ditches. You just got nice, big, wide open fields, and I love that. Yeah.
I don't know, honestly. I don't know. I suppose I would like to take my own bike. I would like to take my own bike at some stage, but I don't know would I take it the first time. But like, I gotta be honest, I'm gonna need a hell of a lot more experience for the other, because you're like a seasoned biker. I'm kind of like I'm still in the kind of newbie stage, because I have my bike 3-4 years, my first bike, and then my second bike I only have since September.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, well, no,
I'm still a newbie in the bike world, unfortunately.
Completely. Like
although I've been going to rallies since I was a kid, so.
Right, that's fair.
It took me that long to get my own bike.
But my first trip across the water was we went down. It was me and 3 other guys, so there was 4 of us. We went down through France. We headed down just towards Spain, northern Spain. We were meant to go. We went into the Pyrenees Mountains, crossed into Spain through the Pyrenees Mountains. It was fantastic, through a tunnel. Came out the other side, and it was into this really narrow canyon. And all, like, there was literally, we went up so high there was still snow. It was fantastic. So, it was, I think it was nearly 2,000 meters. We were up, and it's 2,000 meters. 2,000 meters, and it was like you could hear the bikes labouring, because obviously the air gets thinner. Yeah. And we got through the tunnel, down the other side, then down this winding road through this small canyon, and there was a bar with a hostel on top now. And I'm not talking about some dingy hostel.
It was a nice.
This place was gorgeous. Like,
I like a typical Irish hostel. Like,
oh no, yeah. And to be honest with you, a lot of Irish hostels, the inside of them look like day prisons, like.
Yeah, there's some that are absolutely savage as well, though.
Yeah, but not many, let's be honest. And this hostel was like all wooden inside. The blankets were all knitted patchwork. It was savage. It was amazing, like. And just across the road from it was the river flowing down. It was blue. It was that minty blue color.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. It was savage. And so that was my first trip. Then we went down to, I think we were meant to go to Andorra, but we had an issue with one of the bikes, so we couldn't get to Andorra. And that was it. We came back to Ireland. My second and third trips were on my own.
Nice.
My sister was getting married in Austria. I think that was my second trip, and I just, she was meant to get married in Greece, and the airline went bankrupt. Went bankrupt. It was XL Air, and basically everyone was cancelled. But my dad, being a seasoned visitor to this village in Austria, Meerhofen, he managed to get the wedding put on there. So everybody was going to Meerhofen. And I just heard this, and everyone were talking to me about flights.
And you decided that nope.
Everyone was like, okay, Mark, and your flight, we're going to start out your flight now. And I was like, what?
You thanks.
No. They just, look out the window at the bike, and the bike just sparkled, and that was it. I'm loading up the bike, loading up the GS, and I'm going across. Oh, but who are you going to go with? By myself. I went by myself, and it was brilliant. I loved it. It was fantastic. But I think the next time I go, I can't wait to go. I can't wait to bring you, because I can't wait to show you.
No one saw me smile there.
She's smiling, beaming ear to ear. I can't wait to show you what's there. Like, it's fantastic. It's brilliant. You just have to remember small few things, like just driving on the other side of the road, coming to roundabouts, or going around the other way.
Come think of it,
like when you come out of a petrol station here, if you're coming out of a petrol station and you're going left, you automatically stop and you look up to your right, seeing there's any cars coming down.
It's the opposite.
Absolute opposite. So it happened to me once, and I've seen it happen to other people as well, where they've come out and they're going left, so they look up right. The road. But obviously, because the car's on the opposite side of the road, they should be looking left. Going left.
I mean, actually, I've driven in France, but in a car. It was funny because my mum was driving the car. We went to the shop to get food or something. And she pulled out, and she was on the wrong side of the road. And I didn't want to correct my mum, because I remember it was kid clock.
Don't correct mum.
So you don't want to correct mum. So I was kind of looking. I was like, she's on the wrong side of the road. Like, does she know she's on the wrong side of the road? And next thing, she kept driving on the wrong side of the road. And I was like, I have to say it to her. And I was like, ma'am, you're on the wrong side of the road. She was like, oh Jesus! She never even realised she was driving on the wrong
Close
side
call?
of the road. No, luckily there was nothing coming now. If there was something coming, I would have said it quicker. But I suppose when you're a child as well, as you said, you don't really want to correct your mother. Like, and I was starting to doubt myself. And I was like, am I right? No, she's on the wrong side of the road. It was quite funny. That happened in
but scary.
Second, like, it was.
But looking back, it's good fun. It's funny.
It was funny looking back, but at the time, no, definitely not at the time.
Super, and but it happens.
Oh, it does, yeah.
Completely happens. Can't wait to get you across, and I can't wait to go myself. I can't wait to get back into the Alps. There's so many passes that I want to drive up in the Alps that I didn't do the last time I was there. There's that. I'm looking forward to getting back out on the road. Basically, when
going further than 5 kilometers, please.
Yes, outside the 5 kilometers. I'm looking forward to getting on the bike, and I'm looking forward to loading up the bikes with you and doing our little bike trips in Ireland. I can't wait. Just shoot the breeze, baby. Me and you. Can't wait.
So we did it one day. Was it in between the lockdowns? We went around Kerry anyway. Like, moves from here.
Local area, kind of.
Local areas, kind of. Yeah, we were gone for like 2 or 3 hours though.
Longer than that. Yeah, it was nearly dark when we finished.
Oh yeah, it was actually. That was savage though.
It was amazing. It was brilliant. It was lovely. So more of that, and hopefully that's just get through this fucking COVID rubbish, and by saying rubbish, I'm not dismissing it or anything like that. I'm just saying it because it's just putting a lot of people under a lot of pressure, and you just got to keep your fucking head about you, like. Unfortunately, my job says I can't stay at home because what I'm doing at the moment. I don't like that. I do not like being out there when I don't really have to be out there.
I don't know what it's like outside anymore.
Really, you know what your back garden looks like?
My back garden.
In and out.
Like my back garden and Aldi. That's about it.
Back garden and Aldi. Yeah, we'll have to come up with something. We'll have to, get you out there.
Back into the world again.
Back into the world, yeah. But we skipped on one thing there before we finished the podcast. We skipped on. Sorry, the hound is after waking up there. It was like a dinosaur. Okay, we skipped on what your first motorbike was.
Oh, great. I thought you'd forget about that.
I did not forget. I don't forget.
First bike. Okay, I'll go that one. It was an Aprilia 50.
Scooter.
No.
You hadn't. When did you have an Aprilia? You never told me that. You never told me you had an Aprilia 50.
It's a long time ago. I never actually got insured on it, so I was just trying to avoid the fact of me talking about my first bike, which was the Suzuki Marauder 250.
Okay, but let's go back to the Aprilia 50. When did you have that? There's Petrina.
We'll talk about it off air.
Oh, really? Okay. You don't want to talk about it, so?
No.
All right, that's fair enough. Okay. Okay, well then, your second bike then.
Yeah, it was a Suzuki Marauder 250. And now, in fairness, this bike was a godsend of a bike in a way, because it got me to the Super 4 where I'm at now with all the bikes. But it was a pain in the backside.
Yep.
I was trying to
you can say hole.
It's painful. Sorry, a pain in the backside. It was great because it got me back on the road. It got me back driving the bikes. Got me out there again. And I suppose I remember going to my where all the problems started. My first rally, going to the Banner rally in Adair, and the bike just decided to go. Not going to work. Now we were there with a few, loads of others. All the lads were all trying to get it going. Got it going in a small bit. Nah, gonna get it. Just didn't work. So just obviously gave up. Then didn't.
Bit of a lemming, really, wasn't it?
Oh, horrendous.
I think it's just one of those things one of those machines that, it just gives up.
Yeah.
It just wasn't meant to be.
No,
I think you're probably going to get a 1 in 100, like where the bike it's just a lemming. It just doesn't want to do what it's supposed to do, and that's work.
Got it fixed up then again. It was working again for a while. Got it fixed up then again. It was working again.
You spent lots of money on that bike.
Spent a hell of a lot of money on that bike.
Yeah. Well, it's still sitting there, but it's stick it up on buy and sell for parts. I think we'll get some of the money back.
Some really good parts in it, like, because I said I put a lot of money into the bike. Yeah. So there's a lot of really good parts on the bike. So.
Yeah, I think it's the internals. Something to do with, what did he say? Who was cam or something like that?
I genuinely.
I don't remember what the chap said about it. But look, it's not working, and you need to sell it to make some money. I think.
Yeah. They said the very good parts, and it's all showed up in Dundee. Give bit of money for the parts, I suppose, and then put it into the Super 4.
Moving on. Super. Okay. Do we have anything else to talk about on this podcast, or will we call it an evening?
I think we'll just call it evening, because there's the hound, as you call him, trying to get out the door. So
the hound, the old Jake here, is wanting to get outside. I think he's looking for a toilet break.
So too, yeah.
So that is that. So Petrina, thank you very much for joining me, and
thank you very much for having me.
Anytime. You're more than welcome to come on the podcast. Maybe we could do a regular one together.
This is my first one, and I'm not used to doing these at all. So
you've done a few radio interviews because of your job, and we messed around with this the last time, but
I had to do it for my job.
Yeah,
this is could have just wanted to do it, so it was nice.
Absolutely, and you're doing so well. You did so well.
Thank you.
Proud of you. Another thing to be proud of you of. Yeah. So thank you very much. Hopefully we'll have you back on. Who's we? Hopefully I'll have you back on. Hopefully we'll have another joint podcast coming up in the near future. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah. We've no beer, do we?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Look, we'll be healthy tonight, and we'll leave it at that. So that's it. Thank you, Petrina.
Thank you. Bye now.
And that is that. So thank you very much for listening. Hopefully, like I said at the start, the podcasts are going to become more and more regular and a little bit more structured from what they've been in the past. That is my goal. This year for me is going to be the year of the podcast and the year of a few more vlogs. So yeah, I'll say again, thank you very much, Petrina, for coming on and joining me and talking about motorbikes and talking a little bit about politics at the start. Everybody, thank you very much for listening. If you want to and you like this podcast, just follow me on whatever platform you are listening to me on. If not, then do you know what? Check back in. You might like the next podcast. You never know. So yeah, it is time now to let Jake out. He is looking at me, and I'd say his bladder is the size of himself. So Okay then, that's it for now. Bye bye.